Hello, my name is Enrique Celeste, and for today, I will be discussing the definition of a numbers and a place value chart. So what is a number? A number is a mathematical object used to count, measure, and label. The original examples are the natural numbers like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now that I have discussed what is a number, let us now go with the place value chart. So what is a place value chart? A place value can be defined as the value represented by a digit and a number on the basis of its position in the numbers. Depending on where the number is placed, that, that is what we call the place value. This is a place value chart. For example, 92,735, 5,468, and the last one is 1,329. And that's all for today. Thank you.
So the topic we will be tackling is place value chart of whole numbers. So this will just be identifying and reading place value numbers. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, hundreds, thousands, millions, and then so on. So for example, for ones, let's give it like two. So we read it as two ones, three tens, 500s, 6,000. So in the next topic of place value chart, we are going to add context of mixed decimals. So we are already given an example, which is 70,208 and 1,653,294 10 millions. And why is it read that way? Well, when we look at the chart here, we can easily identify which place value each digit is representing. So 7 is representing thousands, 2 is representing hundreds. So 7 thousands, 2 hundreds, 0 tenths, 8 ones. So it is read as 70,200 and 8 in 1 million. It's because the tenths is just a 0. And then we have the decimal point. 1 represents tenths, so 1 tenths. 6 represents hundreds, so 6 hundreds. 5 represents thousands, so 5 thousands. And 3 represents 10,000s, so 3 thousands. 2 represents 100,000s, so 200,000s. 9 represents millions, so 9 millions. 4 represents 10 millions, so 4 10 millions. So when we see the decimal point where the right side of the decimal point, each number from the right side of the decimal point gets 10 times smaller, while on the left side of the decimal point it gets 10 times bigger. So we read it as so you see here, decimal point 8 ones, because 8 times 1 equals 8, so 8 ones. 0 multiplied by 10 equals 0, so 0 tens. 2 multiplied by 100 equals 200, so it's 2 hundreds. 7 multiplied by thousands is 7 thousands, so 7 thousands. While on the right side, while on the right side it gets 10 times smaller, so 6 divided by hundreds equals 0.06, and then 5 divided by 1000 equals 0.005. 3 divided by 10,000 is 0.0003, and then it just goes on from there.
Good day everyone, I am Bianca Dela Cruz from Group 6. So for today, I will be discussing on how to round off numbers and the conversion of fractions. So first is, I will teach you on how to round off. So rounding off is very convenient to adopt and derive the simple forms of numbers rather than taking the exact values. So ang lagi lang nating tatandaan when rounding off is yung nasa right niyang number is, yung nasa right number niya kapag 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, or less than 5, isi-stay lang natin siya or papalitan lang natin siya ng 0. We don't need to add 1 kasi nga less than 5 siya. Pero kapag 5 and above, dun tayo yun yung time na mag-a-add tayo. So, yung example dito is 43,216.0814. So, rounding off to the nearest ones. So, yung ones natin dito is yung 6 kasi ones, tens, hundred, thousand, 10,000. So, yung nasa right niyang number is 0, kaya isi-stay lang natin siya. Wala tayong gagawin. Ayun. Kaya yung naging sagot is 43,216. Then, round off to the nearest hundreds. Yung hundreds natin dito is yung 2. And yung nasa right side niya na number is 1. Kaya magiging 0 lang siya. Hindi natin siya papalitan. Kaya yung naging sagot is 43,200. Then, round off to the nearest thousand. Yung thousand is 3. And yung nasa right side niya is less than 5 pa rin. Kaya, gagawin lang din natin siyang 0. Kaya, yung naging sagot is 43,000. Yeah, 43,000. Then, round off to the nearest hundreds. So, may TH, kaya decimal siya. Sa decimal, hindi pwede i-apply dito yung hindi natin need lagyan na ng 0 kapag less than 5. Stay lang talaga siya. Yun. So, round off to the nearest hundreds. Yung hundreds natin dito is yung 8. Kasi wala tayong ones sa decimal. Kaya, tens agad, then hundreds. So, yung 100 is 8. And nasa right niyang number is 1. So, less than 5 pa rin. Kaya, hindi na natin siya need i-add. So, mag-stay lang siya. Kaya yung naging sagot is 43,216.08. Then next, dito naman, when the digit drop begins with 5 and up, the last digit to be returned is increased by 1. Ito yung sinasabi ko na need natin mag-add ng 1 kapag 5 and above yung number or yung nasa right side niya na number. So, yung example dito is 9,689.354. So, round off to the nearest ones. Yung ones natin is 9. And yung nasa right side niyang number is 3. So, less than 5 pa rin. Kaya, hindi na natin siya i-add ng 1. So, isi-stay lang siya. Kaya yung naging sagot is 9,689. Then, round off to the nearest tens. Yung tens natin is 8. Kaya, yung nasa right side niyang number is 9. And it is 5 and above. Kaya, mag-a-add 1 tayo. So, 8 plus 1 is 9. Kaya, naging sagot is 9,690. Next is round off to the nearest hundreds. Yung hundreds is yung 6. And, yung nasa right side niyang number is above 5 and above pala. Kaya, mag-a-add 1 tayo. So, 6 plus 1 is 7. So, kaya yung sagot is 9,700. Ayun.
The next topic we will be tackling is fundamental operations on whole number. Let's start with addition. Addition is the process of combining two or more similar number of quantities. The symbol used in addition is this symbol, read as plus. Addition may be done horizontally or vertically. When adding numbers, always start from the extreme right and then add from the top to bottom. The decimal points are set in a straight line. And in long addition, there is the associative law, wherein changing the grouping of the addends does not affect the sum or total. So, we are already given an example. 5 plus 6 plus 8 equals 5 plus 6 plus 8. So, 5 plus 6 equals 11 plus 8 equals 19. So, we have our answer there. And then 6 plus 8 equals 14. So 14 plus 5 equals 19. So our answer is 19 equals 19. And even if we change the groupings, the answer will still remain the same. The next law is the commutative law. Changing the order of the addends does not affect the sum or total. So this is just like the groupings, except the order of each number or problem. So the example given is 5 plus 9 equals 9 plus 5. So 5 plus 9, 14. 9 plus 5, 14. So the same answer anyway. So it's the same sum or total, no matter what order you put it on. The third is the identity law. The identity numbers in addition is 0. If 0 is added to any number, the result is the given number. For example, 5 plus 0 equals 5, and 0 plus 6 equals 6. So that's basically just it. Next is subtraction. It is the process of taking away a number from another. Subtraction starts from the column digits at the extreme right and the decimal point in the minuend, subtrahend, and difference. For example, from 396,698.84, subtract 148,378.31. And the solution is already shown. Solution is just basic subtraction. The next is multiplication. It is a process of combining equal addends as many times as there are units in another number. It is a repeated addition. The sign of multiplication are x and dot. For example, our multiplicand is 463 and our multiplier is 56. So, multiply 6 by 463, our partial product is 200. Our partial product is 2778. Multiplying 5 by 463, our partial product will be 2315. And after that, we just add the partial products and our product will be 25,928. So it's just basically basic multiplication. Next is involving decimals. In multiplying decimals, mixed decimals or whole numbers, the figures in the multiplier will be written directly under the figure of the multiplicand. The number of decimal places in the product is equal to the sum of the decimal places in the factors. For example, 46.25 times 2.1. We just follow the process and order of how we multiplied last time, except we ignore the decimal point. And then when we get to adding all our partial products again, that's when we start adding the decimal point. The product has 3 decimal places, therefore the decimal point will be on there, the third decimal place. Next is division. It is the process of finding how many times a number is contained in the given values. The dividend is the number to be divided and the divisor is the number by which the dividend is to be divided. For example, 24 divided by 8 is 3. 24 is the dividend, 8 is the divisor, and the quotient is 3. Simple. Law of division. Number 1. 0 divided by any numbers is equal to 0. For example, 0 divided by 8 equals 0. 0 divided by 5 equals 0. Number 2. Any number divided by 1 gives the same number. For example, 5 divided by 1 equals 1, and same thing with every other number. Number 3. 0 is not used as a divisor. For example, 6 divided by 0 is undefined because we do not know the answer to 6 divided by 0 or divide by 0. That is all.
So, ang pag-uusapan naman natin ngayon is fraction and kinds of fraction. Fraction is one or more of the equal parts na which a whole number is divided. It consists of a numerator and denominator. The numerator is the numbers above the fractional line indicating the number of the parts taken from the whole. The denominator is the number below the fractional line indicating how many equal parts its whole is divided. Kinds of fraction. Number 1. Proper fractions. A fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator, its value is less than 1. Examples: 3 over 4, 2 over 3. Number 2. Improper fractions. A fraction in which the numerator is greater than the denominator. Examples: 4 over 3, 7 over 5. Number 3. Mixed number. A combination of a whole number and a fraction. Example: 2, 1 over 2, 3, 6 over 7. Number 4. Similar fractions. Fraction with the same denominator. Examples: 3 over 5, 6 over 5. Number 5. Dissimilar fraction. A fraction having different denominators. Examples: 2 over 7, 7 over 4. Number 6. Decimal fraction. A fraction in which the decimal point is used to indicate that the denominator is power of 10. Examples: 2 over 100, 5 over 1000. And that's it for fraction and kinds of fraction.
Least common denominator. The least common denominator, LCD, is the smallest number which is exactly divisible by the denominator of the dissimilar fraction. Example: find the LCD of 7 over 12 and 5 over 6. So first, let's start making multiples of 6. So 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 5 is 30. And let's proceed in making multiples of 12. 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, and 12 times 4 is 48, and 12 times 5 is 60. So, na-notice natin na may kapareho silang number. So, yung 12 and 24 and 24. So, ang magiging least common multiple natin is yung 12 kasi siya yung pinaka nauna at siya yung pinaka mababa. So, ang magiging LCD natin is 12. So, another example naman ay 5 over 15 and 7 over 60. So, let's start making multiples of 15. 15 times 1, 15. 15 times 2 is 30. 15 times 3 is 45. 15 times 4 is 60. 15 times 5 is 75. So, sa 60 naman tayo. Let's start making multiples of 60. 60 times 1, 60. 60 times 2, 120. 60 times 3, 180. 60 times 4, 240. 60 times 5 is 300. So, may kapareho silang number. So, yung 60. So, 60 and 60. At ayun yung least common multiple natin. So, ang magiging LCD natin ay 60.
Greatest common denominator. The greatest common denominator, or GCD, is the highest number which can be used as a common divisor of the numerator and denominator of a given fraction. For example, we have the fraction 26 over 52 and its GCF is 26. So, paano nga ba naging 26 ang GCF ng fraction na ito? So, GCF is also known as greatest common factor. So, huwag tayo malilito sa pinagkaiba ng GCD at ng GCF kasi iisa lang po sila. So, GCF nito is 26. So, pag sinabi natin factors, ito yung mga numbers na pinapag-multiply natin to get a certain product. So, for example, ano ba ang factors ng 26? We have 26 times 1, we have 13 times 2. Yun yung factors nila. We have 26, we have 13, we have 2, we have 1. So, sa 52 naman, anong factors ng 52? 52 times 1, we have 26 times 2, we have 13 times 4. So the factors of 52 are 52 itself, we have 26, 13, 4, and 2. So sa mga binanggit kong factors kanina, for 26, its factors are 26, 13, 2, and 1. For 52, we have 52, we have 26, 13, 4, and 2. So both 26 and 52 have the same factors. Pareho silang may 2, pareho silang may 13, pareho silang may 26. So, sa same factors nila, hahanapin natin yung pinakamataas, which is yung 26. So, pag nahanap mo na yung highest possible number ng factor ng dalawa, yun na po yung magiging G sa F. Kaya naging 26 yung G sa F ng 26 over 52. So, G sa F is used as a common divisor of the numerator and denominator of a given fraction. So, pag mahanap na natin yung G sa F ng fraction, i-divide na po natin sila to simplify the given fraction. So, we have 26 over 52. Now, we have the GCF of it, which is 26. Ipapang-divide na po natin sila. So, 26 divided by 26, we will get 1. 52 divided by 26, we will get 2. So, that is how you use and find the greatest common denominator, or GCD.
Okay, so let's proceed sa conversion of fraction. Okay, so kapag mag-aano tayo ng improper to mix, gagawin lang natin is magdi-divide tayo and subtract. So, gawin natin tong 100 over 75. Ano siya, ilang 75 ang meron sa 100? Diba 1 lang? Kaya yung naging whole number is 1. And then, kapag minus mo yung 75 sa 100, or yung natira, pagkatapos mo i-divide, yun yung numerator mo, which is 25. Kaya yun yung numerator. And then, copy the denominator lang. And kung nagtataka kayo, bakit 1 and 1/3 yung sagot? Kasi, sinimplify lang. Okay. Next naman is itong changing mixed number to improper. Madali lang to kasi i-multiply and add mo lang siya. Okay, so gawin natin itong example. 75 times 1 is equals to 75 plus 25 is equals to 100. So, yun yung numerator mo. And then, just copy the denominator, 75. That's all. Thank you. Again, I am Bianca Dela Cruz.
Operation involving fraction. First operation we have is the addition of fraction. So we have rules in operations of fraction. So first rule in addition of fraction, rule number 1. In adding similar fractions, add the numerator and place the sum over the denominator. So pag mag-a-add tayo ng mga fractions, or specifically similar fractions, which means same lang yung denominator nila, wala na tayong babaguhin sa denominator nila, and we will simply add the numerator of the two fractions. So for example, number 1, we have 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5. So in this rule, dalawa silang similar fraction. So the denominator will stay as it is. Magiging 5 pa rin siya. And yung numerator lang yung i-add natin. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5 is equals to 3/5. Kasi nga, wala na tayong babaguhin sa denominator. Numerator na lang yung i-add natin since similar fraction sila. For example, number 2, we have 4 over 7 plus 3 over 7. So, tulad ng kanina, wala tayong babaguhin sa denominator since both of the fractions have the same denominator, meaning to say similar fraction sila. So, the denominator will stay as it is, and we will simply add the numerator of both fractions. So 4 plus 2 is 7. So pag sinimplify natin yan, 7 over 7, we will get 1. For the second rule, in adding the similar fractions, make the fraction similar before addition. So, ito na nga yung sinasabi natin kanina. Like, paano tayo mag-a-add pag hindi sila same ng denominator? So, we have, for example, number 1, 2 over 4 plus 3 over 8. In order to make fractions similar na, di ba, we will get its LCD. So LCD ng 4 and 8 is 8. And then now we will solve for the numerator. So 8 divided by 4, 2 times 2, we will get 4. 8 divided by 8 is 1 times 3, we will get 3. So pag nakuha na natin yung numerator, i-add na lang natin sila. So 4 plus 3 over 8, we will get 7 over 8. For example number 2, we will do the same since dissimilar sila, hanapin natin yung LCD. 2 over 7 plus 3 over 4, ang LCD ng dalawang fraction na yun is 28. So, 28 divided by 7, we will get 4, times 2, we will get 8. 24 divided by 4, we will get 7, multiply to 3, we will get 21. Now that we have the numerator, we will now simply add 8 plus 21. So 8 plus 21 over 28, we will get 29 over 28. Since improper fraction sila, isi-simplify natin sila into mixed number. Therefore, our final answer is 1 and 1 over 28. For the third rule in addition of fractions, in adding mixed number, add the whole number first, then add the fractions, then combine the two. An alternate is to change first the mixed numbers to improper before adding. Example number 1. We have 2 and 6 over 9 plus 3 and 1 over 9. So, ang sabi dito, hiwa-hiwalay natin i-add yung whole number at the fraction. So, add muna natin yung whole number ng two fractions. We have 2 plus 3. So, dito sila, magiging 2 plus 3. And for the fractions naman, we have 6 over 9 plus 1 over 9. So, hindi na natin sila kailangan gawing improper fractions kasi similar fractions naman sila. So, we can simply add the numerator of both fractions. So, since i-add na natin sila, we will get 2 plus 3 for the whole number and 6 plus 1 over 9 for the fractions. Therefore, our final answer will be 5 and 7 over 9. For example number 2, we have 4 and 9 over 12 plus 8 and 3 over 12. So, ganun ulit ang gagawin natin. I-add natin muna ang whole numbers. We will get 4 plus 8. Then, i-add naman natin yung fractions. We will get 9 over 12 plus 3 over 12. We will get 12 and 12 over 12. Since 12 over 12 yung fraction natin, magiging 1 na lang yan. So, pag maging 1 naman yan, i-add na lang natin siya sa whole number natin. So, therefore, our final answer is 13.
So now let's proceed to the subtraction of fraction. Rule number 1. In subtracting similar fraction, subtract the numerator and write the difference over the denominator. Example number 1. 3 over 5 minus 2 over 5. So yung denominator nila is same. So, ika-copy na lang natin siya. So, yung magiging denominator natin sa answer natin is 5. And isa-subtract na lang natin yung numerator. So, 3 minus 2 is equals to 1. So, ang magiging sagot natin is 1 over 5. Next example naman is 6 over 10 minus 3 over 10. Ganun din,
parehas sila ng denominator, so ikakopy na lang natin. So 10. So 6 minus 3 is equals to 3. So magiging sagot natin is 3/10. Rule number 2 naman, in subtracting dissimilar fraction, make the fractions similar before subtracting. So sa example natin, 6/10 minus 1/2 or 1/2. So ang gagawin natin is kukunin muna natin yung LCD nila. So ang LCD nila is 10. So 10 divided by 10 is equals to 1, right? So 1 times 6 is equals to 6. So ilalagay natin yun sa new numerators natin. Ganun naman sa pangalawang fraction. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 5 times 1 is equals to 5. So 6 minus 5/10. So let's simplify. 6 minus 5 is equals to 1. And copy the denominator, which is 10. So ang magiging sagot natin is 1/10. Next example naman, 6/7 minus 1/3 is equals to, kukunin muna natin yung LCD nila. So ang LCD nila is 21. So yung 21 na yon ay i-divide natin sa denominator ng una at ng pangalawang fraction. So 21 divided by 7 is equals to 3, right? So 3 times 6, yung 3 na yon ay i-multiply naman natin sa numerator. So 3 times 6 is equals to 18. So ilalagay muna natin dito, 18. So next naman ay sa second na fraction. So 21 divided by 3, so 7 siya. Tapos ita-times natin sa numerator na 1. So 7 times 1 is equals to 1. Is equals to 7. So yung new numerators natin is 18 minus 7/21. So let's simplify. 18 minus 7 is equals to 11. And copy the denominator, which is 21. Rule number 3, in subtracting mixed number, subtract the whole number first and then subtract the fraction. So example natin is 5, 6/9 minus 2, 1/10. So una natin gagawin ay ipapag-minus muna natin ang whole number. So ilalagay muna natin ay 5 minus 2. And then kukunin muna natin yung LCD ng dalawang fraction, which is 90. So 90 divided by 9 is equals to 10. So ita-times natin sa numerator na 6. So 10 times 6 is equals to 60. Ganun din sa pangalawang fraction. 90 divided by 10 is equals to 9. So yung 9 ita-times natin sa numerator na 1. So 9 times 1 is equals to 9. So 60 minus 9 yung new numerators natin. So isi-simplify lang natin. Una ay isa-subtract muna natin yung whole number. So 5 minus 2 is equals to 3. And then 60 minus 9 is equals to 51. Tapos copy na lang yung denominator. So 90. So magiging sagot natin ay 351/90. So let's proceed to multiplication and division of fraction. Rule number 1, in multiplying fraction, multiply the numerator and then multiply the denominator. Express the result in its lowest term. So, example natin is 3/5 times 1/2. So, ipapag-times lang natin yung numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. So, 3 times 1 is equals to 3 and 5 times 2 is equals to 10. So, wala na siyang lowest term. So, yung magiging sagot na lang natin is 3/10. So, next example naman ay 4/6 times 1/2. So, ganun din, ipapag-times natin numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. So, 4 times 1 is 4, 6 times 2 is 12. So, may, pwede pa natin siyang ma-simplify by dividing numerator and denominator by 4. So, 4 divided by 4 is 1 and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So, magiging sagot natin or yung lowest term niya is 1/3.
Rule number 2. In multiplying a whole number and the fraction, multiply the whole numbers and the fractions and write the product over the denominator of the fraction. For example number 1, we have 9 times 3 over 10. So, huwag tayo malilito pag ang pinapang-multiply natin sa fraction ay isang whole number. Kasi, a whole number is my invisible or imaginary over 1 sila. So, we have here 9 times 3 over 10. Since may imaginary over 1 nga sila, magiging ganito yung layout ng operation natin. We will get 9 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 10. Now we can proceed in multiplying both fractions. 9 times 3 we will get 27. 1 times 10 we will get 10. Since improper nga sila, we will simplify it into a mixed number. Therefore, our final answer is 2 and 7 over 10. Example number 2. We have 5 multiplied by 35 over 75. So just like what we did for the first example, our 5 has an imaginary or invisible over 1. So 5 over 1 multiplied by 35 over 75. And now we will multiply. 5 times 35 we will get 175. 1 times 75 we will get 75. So the GCF of this is 25. Therefore, we will divide 25 to 175 over 75. 175 divided by 25, we will get 7. 75 divided by 25, we will get 3. This is an improper fraction. We will simplify it into a mixed number. Therefore, our final answer is 2 and 1/3.
Rule number 4. To divide a fraction, find the multiplicative inverse of the divisor and then proceed to multiplication. So we have example here. So 5/9 divided by 3/2. So ang gagawin lang natin is i-reciprocal lang natin yung pangalawang fraction na 3/2. So magiging 2/3 siya. And then papalitan lang natin ng sign na multiplication. So ang meron na tayo ay 5/2 times 2/3 or 2/3. So i-multiply lang natin numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. So 5 times 2 is equals to 10 and 9 times 3 is equals to 27. So hindi na natin siya pwedeng ma-simplify. So ito na yung final answer.